way the Channel Zero started was because I used to do stand-up comedy. So I was a stand-up comedian. Actually, Bernie Mac was the first person to bring me on stage. He was my mentor, him and Jimmy Spinks. You remember Car Wash? Remember the fat dude at Car Wash, Jimmy Spinks? So you go to the Cotton Club, Bernie Mac would be on the stage, and Jimmy Spinks be at the bar. And I was like, I'm going to do an open mic. So I wound up doing an open mic, and Bernie just took to me and Jimmy Spinks. So they was kind of my mentors throughout my early career at comedy. And then Danny Sorge was at the barbershop working, and I got this camera. So he was like, Coodie, I got an idea. Let's go around the concerts and interview people outside the concerts. You know what I'm saying? You be the host. And I was like, that's cool, but I think we should go in the concerts too and interview the artists and then the people outside, everybody. Let's get everybody. He was like, let's do it. But, of course, we ain't had the credentials and we able to do it like how people do it. So we knew we had to sneak in. So that's how Channel Zero started. And I remember we aired a show. I mean, we didn't even air it at that time. We would like go to the barbershop, which was Mellow Swing barbershop that Dave and Brennan, which had a group called Mellow Swing here in Chicago. Dave started his barbershop, so Danny was working there, and that's where Kanye would come in there with beats because he lived down the street on 95th. And No Idea was first it was No Idea and Doug Infinite studio that they gave to Dave, and Dave made it the barbershop. So that whole story crazy with Mellow Swing. So so that was the start of Channel Zero, and when Danny got like tired of really going out, he like, I got to cut hair. I'm like, teach me how to use your camera. And he taught me how to use it. So I started going out. So I'd be like with Cap One or somebody filming for Channel Zero, and then ran into Kanye. And I'm like, this dude is really the one I need to be filming. And I just seen Hoop Dreams, the documentary. So I said, I'm going to do a Hoop Dreams on Kanye because he going to blow up. I know he is. He going to win Grammys. And I couldn't believe nobody else seen it like that. You know what I'm saying? Not for nothing, I thought Dame seen it, but, looking at new interviews with Dame, he ain't even know. He wanted to shelf him, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, shit. Well, we seen something special. Well, the transition from going from comedy to, first the transition from going from the streets of Chicago, in the streets, you know what I'm saying, to doing comedy, to, acting, and to filmmaking, was all God. It couldn't have been nothing but God, you know what I mean? So, I give all credit to God for, changing my life and actually showing me my purpose. I remember just falling in love with watching people, the things that we was putting together on Public Access Channel 19, and people liking it. I was like, oh, the passion and the love started going there, even though I was loving comedy. But then when I started making money and it became my job, I stopped I got to go do comedy over here. I got to go do this old folks home tomorrow. I'm like, but I fell out of love with it, but I still loved it to a point. You know what I mean? So I did BET's Comic View 2 seasons, which was like an accomplishment at that time. And but it was like this one dude was like, Coodie, you throw parties in Chicago, you acting, because I was in a few independent films. It's like, you acting, you film, you know what I'm saying? He was like, you do comedy, you do all of these things. He said, but dude, if you want me to help you, you got to pick one. He was like, you got to pick one that, what do you really love? And he said, and I really think you're a director. He was like, if you pick directing, think about it. You can act in your movie that you direct. Or you can, do your own comedy show that you put together and direct. He said, I think you're a director. And if you choose that, I'm going to help you do that. If you choose comedy, I'm going to help you do that. If you choose acting, whatever you choose, I'm going to help you. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, you're right. This is what I really love doing, so that's what I'm going to do. And like I say, God just made it all happen for me, moving to New York, meeting Chike, Kanye having a car accident, you know what I'm saying? And it was just everything in line. And we thought about doing Through the Wire. Like, me and Kanye had an idea for Through the Wire called Chike. I'm like, Chike, we have no money, but we have a great idea. He was like, bet, let's do it. So we put that together, which took months of sneaking in MTV, because Chike was working at MTV at the time. And we made that happen. And then all of a sudden we became video directors. Oh shit, all right, bet. and we started doing videos. So we did 2 words, Kanye's 2 words, and then we did the third version of Jesus Walks, because the powers to be want to, mix things up. So they wanted Chris Milk to do All Falls Down. We're gonna get Chris Milk, or we're gonna do, get these other directors to do Jesus Walks, and it just didn't work. And Kanye was like, I don't like them two, let's do the third version. So we wound up doing the third version of Jesus Walks, and went on to do stuff with Mos Def, Erykah Badu, and, the greats, you know what I'm saying? So